Crypto firm Genesis preparing to file for bankruptcy. This move comes 2 weeks after Genesis laid off about 30% of its staff as the crypto industry struggles to bounce back after the fallout from FTX. We've got Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith on the case and with the details. David, what do we know?
Brad, the bankruptcy has not happened yet. Institutional crypto lending outfit Genesis Global Capital, and it's has, at least on paper, been struggling for months to come to some resolution in this situation. Over the past 2 months, they've sought funding unsuccessfully and have indicated bankruptcy could be a possibility. Creditors have also organized into 3 major groups, and now we're seeing what could be a pre-agreement bankruptcy transaction, which would be a cleaner process than previous crypto filings. So the players are Genesis, its creditors, and Digital Currency Group, the parent company of Genesis. Over the past week, negotiations between those parties have been nonstop. Both sides are now in the process of drafting what looks like a term sheet or document that would indicate how the agreement would work prior to the filing of bankruptcy. A document shared with us yesterday indicated that this is fast approaching and could happen any day now. That being said, in an ideal world, a majority creditor vote would have to approve this term sheet, and that's the final step before Genesis would file bankruptcy. Yeah, however, I do want to stress the deal isn't done yet. Gemini's earned customers are the largest creditor group, and they have the most voting power.
All right. Well, we're going to see how that unfolds. At least it's not the big one, Binance, just yet. Got to talk to you about CoinDesk, because we saw this morning that they have tapped bankers for a potential sale, which I think is interesting because they are affiliates of Grayscale Investments, which manages the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Ethereum Trust, and basically the biggest ETF provider of crypto products, I believe, in the world.
Right, Jared. So that's the issue. Digital Currency Group is the parent company of all these firms: Grayscale Investment Trust, CoinDesk, also a Bitcoin mining firm, Foundry. They own a lot of crypto companies. They're sort of an empire. So at this point, Digital Currency Group owes Genesis at least $600 million in loans. And that number is highly subjective depending on the terms of a note that they gave to Genesis over the summer. So what we're going to be looking to see is what the agreement between DCG and Genesis creditors is going to look like. It's been floated, at least, or proposed by DCG, that DCG may ask for some kind of forbearance period in which they don't pay back creditors the full amount they owe Genesis within a 2-year period, as much as a 2-year period, excuse me. And it could also include payments of DCG equity and cash. Now, that being said, creditors here want to get their money back as soon as possible, but they also want to get as much money back. And that means that they may be willing to wait for DCG to be able to pay back its loans. Now, this all means, why hasn't DCG already stepped in? There are questions, obviously, about whether or not they have enough money. If they don't, they can sell some of their assets. They have sizable holdings of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They also have this large portfolio of companies. So we're going to be waiting to see what will happen there, and there could be any combination of that. Obviously, DCG doesn't want to sell its portfolio companies, but at this point, it's going to have to make a decision about what's best to save its empire.